I'm excited for tonight's webinar. Those of you who have been on, thanks so much for being early. As you can tell, Chris and I go back, gosh, a couple years now at least. Man, it's been several years.
Several.
And been around the country with Chris a few times. You're in for a treat. You really are. Truly, seriously, and I genuinely mean that. It's kind of fun to learn from Chris because he's got so much information. Not only is he a nice guy, but he knows what he's talking about. So free money, grants, loans, and scholarships. This is where it's at. This is where the rubber hits the road. If you want to learn how to obviously find ways to get money, if you're, like I said before, if you are a multimillionaire, it's always good to find money. If you're just starting out, even better. So this is where we want to start. Chris can help you do that. There's a lot of ways to do that, and this is part of our webinar series. We'll give you a list of several coming up, and those of you who've been on the summit, it's part of our Asset Protection Summit. Thank you all for being there this last week. It was awesome, phenomenal, a lot of great speakers there. We just finished up this week. We have one coming up April 22nd through 24th, and please feel free to invite people. A lot of you did that, invited some friends and family. We always encourage that. If you're in our network, once you attend our summit, you should be able to, at least for the time being, bring friends and family to that event for free. So we'd love to have them. So please do. And we always give our legal disclaimer. Of course, we're not giving you legal, financial, or tax advice specifically for you. We always suggest you look for a financial advisor or professional or attorney to help you with your specific legal advice. And Chris, of course, we'll go into some awesome detail. Like I said, Chris Johnson, we've known for several years. If you're looking for ways to find, like I say, free money, if you will, grants, loans, and or scholarships, Chris is the guy. He really, truly is. Chris, I'll let you give more detail as to how long you've been doing this and how you can do a lot of this. But really, truly, there are a lot of our students, friends, that we know that have been doing what Chris teaches, and they legitimately have found, gosh, I would say hundreds of thousands, if not more, for what they're doing. So if you do it, it's out there for you. So Chris can show you how. Chris, thanks so much for being on tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Kendall. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you letting me talk to your clients and teaching them some stuff about government funding.
Of course. If you don't mind, go ahead. You can take control there. I think I've given you control there. I'll turn it over to you. And I'm here in the background. If you need anything, let me know. But take it away, Chris. Thanks for being on.
For sure. Thanks. Well, hello and good evening, wherever you happen to be in this wonderful country. And thank you for joining us. Like I mentioned a minute ago, I will not go all night long. This is not a 4-hour thing. It's about an hour, maybe hour and a bit. I do go kind of quick, but hopefully you've got some note paper and a pen to jot stuff down with. My advice would be, as I go through some of the websites and information, would not be to veer off and start going to the websites, because you're probably going to miss a lot of what I'll say about it. Jot the website down, make a note, and circle back after we're done. I'll stay on at the end with Kendall and do some Q&A as well with you to make sure that we're clear. As I'm doing my slideshow, I might not see the questions. For some reason, I'm showing my slides. I don't see the Q&A, but Kendall can monitor that for me on my behalf as we go through here. But I'll definitely get questions answered at the end if I've confused you in any way, shape, or form. So that's just some preliminary stuff, but take a minute now, grab that pen, that paper, jot those websites down, and try to avoid looking at them too much, because you might get confused as I'm going on to the next topic as we go through here during my my presentation. I'll bring up some slides here in a second, but first just want to say hello and introduce myself. If you don't know much about me, normally at the live events in person, which of course we've abandoned during COVID, but normally we're live in a hotel room somewhere. I'm part of that 3-day event as well, and it's just fun to basically meet and see everyone. With the online version we're doing the last year, of course, I'm here as the afterthought, the bonus event on Thursday. So thanks for logging back in. I know you've had 3 long days with everyone, but my name is Chris Johnson. I'm known as the grant funding expert. I've been teaching this information now for probably the last 16 or 17 years or so. And how I became this so-called grant expert is I learned about government grants as a receiver and user of grants initially myself. And how I learned about them myself was doing real estate investing. And if you're a real estate investor or a business owner, or even a parent who's got kids going off to college, this webinar right now is for you, because as an early on real estate investor myself, looking for ways to fund my deals and pay for some of those repair costs and upgrade costs, etc., I learned about government grants through my own research. And as I learned more, and people learned from me that I knew how to get government grants, they began to call me specifically, not to teach them real estate, but to teach them how to get government grants. And so this grant research business was kind of born about, like I said, 16 years ago. And ever since then, I've been a real estate investor on the one hand, but now this go-to guy for government grants on the other. So people have been hiring me from expertise. Of because of that, been speaking all across the country, but also internationally as well, because I learned not just the US, but Canada, Australia, England, all these countries have their own government grant programs and systems. And I've been asked to speak literally as far away as South Africa on this topic. So it's been kind of fun because we've helped literally tens of thousands of people access millions upon millions of dollars in real estate needs, business needs, education needs, government funding, and private sector foundational grants, nonprofit funding, all kinds, federal and local. There's money for all kinds of things. I call it the giant money vault. What I mean by that is you have to have the magic key to unlock this vault. And the key is knowledge in this case. If you know what you're doing, you know how to access these programs, know how to find them, you can get lots of funding. I've got many clients who are getting 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 grants every year. I'll show you some examples as we go through here, but I'll give you the websites that you want to start off with. I'll show you how to go through the process, and I'll basically, walk you through a lot of examples too of real people who are past clients of the Protect Wealth seminars and events that that you guys are at the last 3 days, and what they did after they learned this information from me, like you're about to as well. So let's get started, and we'll jump on and go through some slideshow stuff so I can stay on track. Mostly, it's mostly for me to stay on track, and I've got some good stuff to share with you here. But here is slide number 1, and of course Don and of course Kendall and myself here. This is basically just showing you who we are, but I guess Don looks the coolest here, Kendall. Don basically does the cool look better than you and I do there for sure.
You know what? We'll have to use some updated pictures.
For sure. Well, the money, like I said, is in 3 main areas. It is business, it is education, it is real estate, where I got my start. So these amounts could vary, could be 4 or 5,000, 40 or 50,000, 4 or 500,000. It all depends what you're doing and how well you can build your case. But just know that my clients have gotten amounts like these and much higher amounts in different grants. And I'll show you examples as we go through here of each of those different areas. Now, just give you some background numbers just for informational purposes only. Currently, federally, over 7,000 programs exist at the federal level. If you go to the state level, there's over 1,800 programs there. These are individual programs that offer grants and funding. Some are subsidies, some are loans, some are grants. They all vary in different ways. Counties offer programs, as do cities and towns across America too. Now, these are the government programs. Outside the government, we've got what are called private foundations. Now we get to really big numbers. There's over 1.5 million private foundational grants offered across America today. Private scholarships are in the multi-millions. So these could be from colleges, universities, private business, government, organizations of all stripes. Foundations, like I mentioned earlier, offer scholarships. And so if you've got a kid going to college, I've got one comment to make there. There's no reason you should have to pay for it. I've got wealthy friends, all kinds of contacts, colleagues, clients who send their kids to college or university. Some people think it's only for low income. That is one segment of the scholarship world. Some is geared toward low income. Some is geared towards good grades. Some is geared towards areas of study where you live, what interest your kid happens to have, volunteer service or volunteer work. So it isn't all based on income or need. A lot of it can be based on a variety of factors. So we've got wealthy friends getting free college for their kids too, which is kind of fun. Now, here's an example of what getting a grant looks like. Here's Rob and Leisha. Nice couple. These are real estate investors, fixer flippers. Now, they don't have their own HGTV fix and flip show, so you wouldn't know who they are. They're just private people. But they became clients, hired me for my knowledge to help them research and find grants for doing real estate improvements and repair. Now, they told me the real estate address, where it's located, the property, in other words, and what needed to get done to it. And so what I did was I began to look around to see what would be available. And from the city, I found out the city where the property was located offered grants of up to $10,000. So we applied to that, and we got the maximum amount approved in about 3 to 4 weeks. And when that happened, they received the letter and the check. Now, the letter says how much you get approved for and the details of the program. The check comes, basically the money you can spend right away. Now, you can't just take that check and run away and go around the world on a around the world vacation. You have to use it for the intended purpose. It's important that you use the funds as they were intended to be used. Otherwise, you have to pay that money back. And you're probably going to lower your chance of getting approved ever again in the future if you misuse the funds, of course. But when you get this money, something interesting happens. It looks like this. It's called being happy, right? And my goal is to help you get checks in the mail of free money for whatever your needs are, like Rob and Alicia have done, as have thousands of my clients over the years. And so that's pretty nice. Now you might say $10,000, is that the best that we can hope to ever get, Chris? The answer is no. These guys are actually about half of what my average client gets. My average client receives about $19,000 to $20,000. Here's one that's above average. This is about $30,000 for her very first grant application. It took about 3 weeks to get approved. It was money to launch her new business, which is a real estate investing business as an investor, right? And so the business is what qualified her for the funding. And here is a renovator. So Art here applied for not one, but 3 different grants, and he got a total of $128,000 amongst those 3 different grants to pay for all the renovations on those properties. That's pretty exciting. And here is Sarah. She basically got 5 grants within her first month of becoming a client of mine. So as you can see here, the sky, not quite the whole sky, but you can pretty much go, more than one here. You can go 2, 3, 4, 5 in this case for Sarah in terms of applying for funding. So it's not sky's the limit because it's not unlimited, but 5 is pretty good, definitely. So the more you ask for, the more you apply for, the more you're going to get is what I'm talking about here. So don't limit yourself to just one application. Send more applications in to increase your chance of getting more programs approved. So let's go through some definitions. Now, I've got different terms or different definitions of the so-called free money. Now, free money is not a government term. Please don't use that. Don't call up a government agency and say, can I have some of that free money that Chris Johnson talks about? Because they're going to hang up the phone on you, first of all. You have to use the proper verbiage, the proper language. So grants are a proper term. Grants are the best kind of what I call free money because they are non-repayable, they're non-taxable in almost every case. They're sometimes referred to as gift funds, and they're the best kind because of those reasons. Other types of free money include loans, which do have to get paid back. Now, loans often have very low interest rates or delayed payments. And so it's like getting a grant because no payments ever get made. And the only time you have to pay that loan back is, for example, either when you sell that property or when you die. And of course, if the second one happens, it's someone else's problem to deal with there. So it's usually tied to a property, that kind of thing. So loans can be forgivable as well, which means it starts off as a loan, no payments get made, and after some time, for some various reasons, it converts into a grant. These are not uncommon. There's many kinds. In fact, a lot of the COVID funding nowadays starts as a loan, converts to a grant. I got several of those myself, which is kind of fun. So loans can be loaned with interest or without interest and sometimes forgiven. Subsidies are the third kind I want to focus on. Now, subsidies are when you pay part of the cost. Now, it's nice to have everything paid for, but that is often not the case all the time. You can get a grant to pay all your costs, yes, but often you have to put up your own monies to a certain amount, and then the rest can be taken care of with some basically subsidized payments. These are common in education, so subsidized education cost, subsidized training cost, subsidized hiring costs through wage subsidies, for example. So you pay part of the employee's wages and the government kicks in the rest for you. It can be much as 50% subsidies in some examples. I'll show you some examples of each of these as we go through here. Equipment, advertising, and more. So scholarships for education, obviously part of this category here of different definitions of different types of free money. So those are the terms of different types of money that's available. Now let's talk about what's holding you back. You see, basically there's 2 main things that's holding people back from getting access to this money. The first thing is how to find that perfect program that you're looking for. So on this webinar, we're going to answer that. I'm going to give you some really good resources on how you can find some excellent programs to take care of that first obstacle that's holding you back from getting this money on a regular basis right now. The second obstacle is simply understanding one word, and that word is the word eligible. You must be eligible to apply for the program once you find the program. And so, for example, if it says seniors can apply and you just had your 21st birthday party last weekend, well, having birthday parties lately is not a good idea. Do it virtually through Zoom, of course. You know what I'm talking about. But if you just turned 21 and you're applying for a seniors only program, you're not going to get approved for that because you're not eligible. Or if it says veterans can apply and you've not spent a day in the military, don't try to trick the system. They're going to do some checking and figure out that you're not actually what you claim that you are. There's some proof. You have to send in documentation and to prove that you are what you said, for example, like a driver's license to show your age, that kind of thing. Or it might be where you live. So if you live in California and you want to apply to a New York program, they're going to determine quickly that you're not eligible because you live in California. So all kinds of different eligibility might apply to programs. It might be geographical, age, it might be a certain demographic group, it might be a certain income status. All kinds of eligibility kicks in here. So make sure you are eligible before you apply so you don't waste everyone's time, including your own. So once you find that perfect program and you're eligible, then that's when the money begins to happen. You can begin to apply for these different programs. Now, the next thing to consider after that is the application form itself. You want to make sure you read the instructions carefully. So when you find the program and you're eligible, the next thing that could potentially get you eliminated from not being successfully approved for funding is if you don't read the instructions properly and you send in an either incomplete application form or you don't include all the documentation they're asking for you, which might be driver's license or it might be a business plan for a business grant, that kind of thing, or contractor bids and quotes for renovations for your house. So make sure you supply everything they're asking for, follow the instructions. Every application form has detailed instructions. Follow the instructions, you'll be just fine. Remember, instructions are not suggestions. They're in fact instructions. If you follow them carefully and you're eligible and you submit them by the deadline, you will be successful. 9 times out of 10, if you are eligible, you follow the instructions properly and completely, you will get approved, and that's when the money shows up. Now, big bundles of cash in a brown paper sack are not going to show up. Checks will get mailed or direct deposited to your business account or your personal account, depending on how the program awards you the funds. Now, let's talk about how to zero in now and find the right program. I told you we do that here, so let me give you some websites. I want to give you a couple right now. Write down beta.sam.gov. Now, what this means is SAM.gov stands for System for Award Management. And so it's a federal government search engine or resource page to look up various programs. It's a government program or government website because of the .gov here. And why it says beta is because right now the government's been transitioning several different websites. It's about, let's see here, about 10 different websites to this one-stop shop. It's been in the works now for a couple of years. There are literally tens of thousands of links and backlinks that have to be matched up properly. So they're in beta mode for now. And SAM is the proper website, sam.gov. Both are functional, but most of it still you access through beta.sam.gov. And at some point, the full sam.gov will be automatically transitioned over though. So you might find the catalog for domestic assistance, which is all the government grant programs listings, the procurement data services, the federal business opportunities, which is government contracting, and a variety of different websites are all now linked through beta.sam.gov. And this is a good starting place for you. You can basically go there and enter some information in the search bar and tell what you're looking for: business grants, educational grants, real estate grants, whatever it is. It'll pull up results for you. Now, those search terms, by the way, are too broad. You're going to pull up thousands of results with those examples I gave to you, but you can actually search through specifically business programs, enter some criteria, and it'll give you a much narrower list. Another website you want to write down is a really good one as well to get started with. It's called Benefits. Oh, here's a search bar example. Just showing you right there the example of the search bar there. But benefits.gov is the next website here. Benefits.gov is a questionnaire. And when you click on the Start Benefits Finder, right there in the middle of it, as I'm showing you here on the screen, when you click on that, it's going to ask you questions. It's going to pop up a questionnaire like, where do you live? What's your age? Are you a parent, a teacher, a student? What are you? It's going to go through a bunch of questions in different categories. And as you answer the questions and you go through these questions there, it's going to walk you through question after question after question. So, for example, the very first question is, what's your date of birth? So it's going to find out programs that you qualify for based on your age and date of birth. And of course, as you do these questions and go through them, it's going to calculate or determine different programs based upon all your answers. It takes about 45 minutes to do the questionnaire. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. And at the end, it's going to list for you actual results based upon those questions. You can now save that to your computer. You can download the results. It's pretty exciting because you'll find hundreds of different programs that it believes you're eligible for based upon that questionnaire. So again, that's pretty helpful for you to go through to help you begin the search as well. Now, as you've got all these results, you want to make an even shorter list. And what I mean by that is you don't want to be having to scour through hundreds of programs if you can help it. Go through maybe a couple of dozen. And how you make your list even shorter and more streamlined is focus on 3 key areas: the name of the program, the purpose of that program. And what I mean by that is why the government created the program. You see, programs are given a certain name that will sound like what the program is created for to do. The purpose is the reason why the government created it. And of course, eligibility is, are you eligible to apply, yes or no, based upon a few certain things. So for example, programs are not named the ABC 123 grant program, and you have no idea what that means because you don't know what ABC 123 even means. It's not a Sesame Street program, trust me on that one. Programs are given an actual name, like let's say it's called the Residential Weatherization Assistance Program. That means probably it's got something to do with residential weatherization. In other words, energy efficiency on your home. So that's the clue there, is the name of the program will stand out for you and it'll sound interesting for you when you find your program. Versus, let's say you find a program that's called the Wetlands Preservation Research Grant Program. Now, if you're into wetlands preservation, that might sound interesting. If you're not, you probably don't care. You'll skip past that program. So that's how you can shortlist based strictly on names of programs. Then once you find programs that sound interesting, click on the link, open it up, and read the details about the program. It's going to tell you eligibility. In other words, are you eligible based on location, geographical, age, background, et cetera, et cetera. It might be the age of the house you're doing renovation on. It might be what type of business you got. Are you into research? Are you into innovation technologies? Are you into online business? And so it'll tell you right there in the eligibility who or what's eligible to apply for the program. And of course, purpose, this is quite important. It tells you the reason why the government created this program in the first place. You see, if you are looking for that perfect answer to write down on your application form when you're asked why you're applying for the program, the good news is you don't have to come up with a perfect answer all by yourself. You see, the perfect answer is hidden amongst the purpose of the program. It's going to say purpose. The program was created to solve low-income housing in the inner city or something like that. Or it could be one of 1,000 different descriptions there. So every program was created for a reason. Money was taken from the government, budgeted from government coffers to give out X numbers of millions of dollars for the purpose of this program. What was the purpose? If your needs are in alignment with the government's purpose, you get a match there and you're eligible, bingo, you will likely get approved for that grant. So your goal when you answer the question on the application form is to make sure, honestly and correctly, make sure this is truthful, that your purpose for applying matches the government's purpose. So how you do that is use their wording as much as you can, use their verbiage. So if it says to create jobs and employment in the greater Los Angeles area and you happen to live in LA, then your answer should be to create jobs and employment in the greater Los Angeles area. Like use their words on your application form, make sure it's honest and truthful. And of course, put that in your application form. So when they read your answer, they're going to say, oh, look, this person's doing exactly what this program was intended. And they'll be much more likely to approve you if they can clearly see that your purpose for applying fulfills the need of that program. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Let me go through here and show you some examples of real actual programs. So there's a program called the Rural Housing Service. This is actually administered through the Department of Agriculture. Why? Because it's rural area. So you might think, isn't it through HUD, like Housing Urban Development? No, it's through the Department of Agriculture. Why? Because it's rural. It's not an urbanized setting. And so the purpose is to help people to buy more new housing. The eligibility is you must obviously use this for rural housing development. So I've had people receive huge grants to buy houses through this particular program. Now, no one says that you have to live in the rural area, but that's where the houses are located. So you could be in a big city like LA or New York and still use this program. That's pretty interesting. So here's another example. Let's say that you've got a business and your business is, got an innovative idea. You're kind of improving on certain types of products or services that are out there. The purpose of this program is to stimulate business innovation. So in your answer, you're going to say to stimulate business innovation through my business, which does this, and the other thing. And of course, your eligibility in this case says you must be a 51% resident or citizen of the USA, and you must be a small business. So you're not a big, massive corporation. You're a small business owner, which means basically everyone on here watching right now is probably in that category. So this means that this could be a good program for you as well. Here's another example. Boots to Business. This is actually for transitioning from active duty military to civilian life, but going directly into business ownership. And so as you transition out of the military, maybe you don't want to get a job, you've already got your business idea and you want to launch that business on day one, you or your spouse could qualify for this. Basically, being a service member or married to a service member, you're eligible for this particular program here. It's called Boots to Business. So those are a couple of examples. Here's one more. This one here is for the ladies. Women business ownership. So there's money targeting female entrepreneurs. That's the purpose, is to help more women to own a business. And of course, being female is what makes you eligible here. And also having a business, that's also part of that process here too. This is pretty exciting because with that being said, I mean, you could be a guy and get this money as long as you're in business and partnership with female business owners. But here's the catch. It must be majority owned and controlled, 51% or more by women. Okay, guys? So if it's you and your wife, gentlemen, make sure that she owns more of the business than you do. That's kind of the key there. Average grant in this particular program is $75,000. So something to think about there. So there's a few examples of what I'm talking about of name, purpose, and eligibility. So I didn't mean to scare you here with this big COVID virus here. We've seen enough darn COVID virus on the news lately for the last year or so. But just keep in mind, there's also COVID funding out there, which is temporary and short term. There's money for individuals, for just helping with unemployment and just emergency covering the bills. There's a bunch more being passed with this new big, massive package that's going through Congress right now, as we've all heard about in the news lately. There's money for businesses that's out there to help you with business loss. A number of my clients have received money related to COVID. It's administered through SBA, which is pretty exciting. Debt relief, business slowdown or shutdown, etc. Through the CARES Act, for example, a variety of different programs there. Even big businesses like Lowe's and Facebook are offering a huge amount of funding from COVID. I got a strange number there by Facebook. I'm missing a comma or it's got too many zeros or something there, so I apologize about that typo. Property owners, again, money for staving off, rent relief things or just a variety of things that are out there. So again, COVID is just one big part of this piece. But just know that when we come to various programs, they fall into three main categories besides COVID. We're talking business, we're talking real estate, we're talking education. Let's go through business first, and then we'll switch over to education, then talk, did I say business first? I meant real estate first, then education, then real estate after that. Now in real estate, again, I think I'm confusing myself here. Real estate, then business. No, real estate, then education and business. I apologize, you guys. I've had a long day. But with that being said, when it comes to real estate, we're going to talk about real estate first. Energy upgrades. I mentioned this earlier. Weatherization assistance, that kind of thing. These are available from the states and federally, and often locally too, and your utility companies. So your gas and electric companies offer upgrades because they want to maintain a lower consumption. And so with that being said, there's all kinds of incentives in place to help us to weatherize our homes, to have more efficient appliances or better insulation, or more weatherization on doors and windows, that kind of thing too. All kinds of examples there. Here's one. This is actually showing two different federal grants. My client Lauren here received the Energy Assistance Program and the Residential Weatherization Assistance Program. That's what I mentioned earlier. It helped cover utility bill assistance and also upgrades to his home, thus lowering future utility costs as his heating and cooling bills plummeted as a result of that. Here is an interesting area, which is called down payment assistance. Every state has this. This is geared to help first-time home buyers get into home ownership, to pay part of your down payment cost. Now, you still have to qualify for the mortgages, of course, but it can pay you $5,000 or $10,000 more in some cases to cover that upfront cost of getting the down payment cost covered. Opportunity zones, I think Scott covered this at the 3-day event. Basically, key zones, typically lower income zones across the country, offer where you can take otherwise taxable profits from your stocks or your real estate and convert it into buying real estate. So instead of paying taxes, you now buy more real estate with, offsetting your taxes for more than 10 years. And as long as you do a small little upgrade, a little bit of investment, new flooring, new roofing, paint the place, fix it up, you can provide housing in a much needed area and offset huge tax dollars that you might have to otherwise come up with through the opportunity zones. Most accountants worth their of decent knowledge are well aware of the opportunity zones and how they work. Block grants is basically federal funds paid out locally. If you know what your local government's priorities are, you can then get some what's called discretionary funding, that there isn't really a program in place, but you can basically build a case to get some funds. We've got a lot of clients who are getting, community events and maybe some community fairs and trade shows, or, community gardens or cleanup things going on that can make things more interesting for you. Here's HUD. So Housing Urban Development offers lots of housing programs, from fix-up repairs, a variety of different things here that you can do with getting into home ownership, repairs, etc. All kinds of things at the federal level. Locally, municipally, you'll find there's all kinds of rehab programs. So it might be getting your electrical upgraded, your plumbing upgraded. It might be, I've had clients get all kinds of roofing and doors and windows replaced. Let me show you some examples here of what I'm talking about of actual clients. Now, this is Carol. She is a major fixer flipper. She's got 4 houses on the go in this particular example. When she met me and she hired me to become a client of mine, and I would do the hard work to help her find the programs, I found 2 grants to help her out to cover the costs on the 4 houses repairs. And what she got was 2 grants, one for almost $10,000 and one for over $17,000, totaling more than $27,000. Her cost on these repairs on these 4 houses, in her words, not one thin dime of her own money went into repairs. It was all grants, paid for doors, windows, flooring, roofing, painting, siding, all kinds of stuff. Exciting, obviously way more profitable for her because she didn't have to pay the repairs on this example. That's just one example here. Here's another one. This is Kim and Fred. Now, these are brand new first-time investors. Their first investment property was a multifamily. They got painting and windows done for free thanks to my program, my grant program that they got from me. And I showed them how to get the grants, and over $16,000 not repayable, all upgrades done for free. Pretty exciting there. Here's Jerome and LaShawn. Now, they came and listened to my lecture so they could get some scholarships for the kid going to college. What they ended up doing was getting some grant money, $58,000, that they used to buy 3 different houses that they then put tenants into. Tenants pay their rents. The rents cover the taxes, the mortgages, and all the expenses, plus then some. So they're actually making positive cash flow. So they've got income producing real estate now, all gained for free from grant monies, and they came for scholarships. But they got the scholarships too, by the way, and so that's pretty exciting there. Here's a 4th example. Assisted living, I think it's pretty fun. $145,000 for the Youngs to cover some of their assisted living costs to get that going as well. So I know a lot of you are exposed to the idea of that as well. So that's a quick introduction to real estate and what's available. Let's switch over now and talk about education. Now that I'm clear on the order that we're doing this here, education funding is for the entire educational spectrum. It could be preschool or private school, going back to school, all kinds of scholarships for athletes, for high scores, academics, good grades, special interests, business management, any kind of career you want, engineering, computer science. We've put many people through med school and law school for free, even overseas studies going, that's not a good idea now to go overseas, but people are getting, scholarships to go to school in England. But, COVID's not going to last forever. It'll be gone eventually, hopefully by the end of this year, and we can kind of get some normalcy again. And international studies is kind of fun too, but just know that education is out there for everything. A lot of it comes from state and federal funding, yes. Apply to everything at the state level, everything federally. See what you qualify for. Go to FAFSA.org. Make sure you get the FAFSA application done. It's going to qualify you probably for some different grants, but if you don't, it'll tell you what other options are open to you if you get turned down for FAFSA. It's going to basically open up a lot of opportunity for you from government agencies. But then what you want to do is talk to the financial aid office at the college or university in which your child wants to go to and apply to. They're going to tell you all kinds of opportunities that the colleges offer. The private sector gets really interesting. So private foundational grants offer a lot of funding too. So these are, over 2.5 million different scholarships are out there. Private businesses from Home Depot to Lowe's to Starbucks to Walmart to Walgreens. There's thousands of companies that offer scholarships for private use. And so you can apply to even the McDonald's scholarship, the Home Depot scholarship, apply to, a variety of foundations. Foundationcenter.org, Foundation Center, just Google it. They've got a lot of different options there. Some are free links, some are paid search engines. The paid ones tend to be better, but they're not expensive. They might be $20 a month. Sign up for a month, do your search. It's going to spit out and find you probably a few hundred different foundational grants and scholarships that you're eligible for as well. So the key with education is start a couple of years prior to your kids graduating. If you're already graduating, it's not too late, but the sooner you can start, the better to get organized. You don't want to be applying when the deadlines are fast approaching. That's kind of my idea here. Don't be applying too late in the school year. Apply early, like right now is perfect, like January, February. The sooner in the new year you can apply for the upcoming semester in the fall is better, because again, it's very competitive in some cases. And so, good grades obviously work good. Get your kids' grades up. Volunteer service is important as well. So do some volunteer work. There's all kinds of things there that you can do to improve your success when you apply. But in education, the secret really is the more that you apply to, the better. Apply to a few dozen different scholarships and grant programs from the government, from the state, federally, the foundations, private businesses, the college itself, and you'll get the whole thing paid for. It happens every time my clients follow his instructions. Here's some good examples. Here's Eileen. She applied to a college grant, got $25,000 from the college, also got federal funds of $5,860 from a grant and $4,500 from a 0% non-interest, non-repayable loan. It becomes non-repayable after some time, covers a total bill for tuition, room and board, which is pretty exciting there. Here's Glenn. No government money here. This is all foundation and university scholarship. over $227,000 for him. That's awesome, not for him, but for his son. And that was exciting because it just is a lot of money for one, but all of it free for two, and none of it was from the government, which is pretty cool as well. Here is Rochelle. Her situation was already been to school, already graduated, applied to student loan debt reduction, and got the entire student loan debt wiped away. $37,000 federal and state monies, federal and state student loans were both eliminated through two different application forms in her case. Here's Sue, 109. Whoa, where does Sue go? There's Sue. $109,000 is what Sue received for student loan forgiveness. Didn't even know she qualified for it until she came to Protect Wealth, heard me speak, and became a client. And asked, let me ask you a question. If I charge you money to become a client for a very nominal small amount, would that be worth it if you had $100,000 in student loan debt go away? I think you'd agree the answer is yes. And by the way, I do charge a fee to become a client. It's not much. In fact, I'm going to tell you how you can actually become a client for free here. So pay close attention as we go through here. This is pretty exciting stuff. Now, before I jump into some business funding, I do want to talk about a couple of services I do offer. Speaking of ways that you might want to become a client, like Sue did there. One of the services I offer is a program I created called the Grant Locator. And what the Grant Locator is basically a service that I basically keep you up to date of continuing education on real estate, on business, on education, on application information and how to do it, and new programs. And I call it the Grant Locator. It's an audio CD that I send to you every month. Now, I do realize that CDs are kind of antiquated. I get that. But when I poll and survey audiences, the result is half the people in the room still prefer CDs over online streaming. So, hey, you got to keep everybody happy, right? And for those of you who've already moved on and like online streaming, I have this available both in online streaming and audio CD. So to keep my life simple, I'm just going to give everybody both of this, right? So you get both online streaming and CD. Just use whichever version you like the best. I'll give you newsletters as well. And what it is exciting tips and pointers. It's knowledge on funding, scholarships, education, real estate stuff, etc. I also interview clients of mine like Sue. In fact, I did interview Sue there, who received over $109,000 in student loan forgiveness. And they tell you through the interview I do with them exactly how to do what they did. It's pretty exciting. Now, I do charge money for this, by the way. I charge a subscription fee of $79 plus tax and shipping. And if you hang out with me for a few more minutes, I'll tell you how you can get this for free. So hang on to that there, and we'll talk about how you can get this for free here in a few minutes. Now, other services I offer are some consulting services. Now, people will hire me to do research for them and help them to find different grant programs. And so my personal one-on-one help, which I provide for clients, basically is where you tell me what kind of grant you want. I go find it for you. I'll help you with your business plan if you've got one of those that you need to get done. I'll help you with your application form. I'll give you all kinds of feedback and advice and review and coaching and research and all kinds of stuff. But basically, it's unlimited for a full entire year. I'll help you no matter what your experience level is from beginning until the end. I do charge a fee for this as well. For one full year of as much help as you need, I charge $10,000 for that service. It's a bargain for the amount of grant monies you get. Trust me, you'll be getting tens of thousands of dollars with this particular service right here. So those are two glimpses or insights onto two different services I happen to offer. There's a few more things I do as well. But I do now want to talk about business funding and what kind of funding is out there and where you go to find some business funding. Now, of course, in all three examples, education, real estate, and business, you can go to your state level, your city level, etc. But for a federal source, because people who are watching me right now are from all across the country, federally, go and start off at sba.gov. Now, this is not the only source. There's about 6 different main sources for business grants, subsidies, and loans. But the Small Business Administration is a really good starting point for you. Mostly loans here, though. You can also go to usa.gov/business, and you'll find all kinds of resources there at that particular website as well. Now, Your state, your county, your city offers different resources too. Some states are very pro-business, very business savvy, and they've got all kinds of incentives that we call it to start and grow your business because let's face it, there's a need for job creation, there's a need for economic growth, especially as we come out of COVID times in back to normal times. You know, remember the good old days, we call that BC, right? Before COVID. We're going to soon be at AC, which is after COVID, hopefully here, and things get back to normal. So there's a real need to get some economic growth and stimulation. So right now, this big stimulus bill that's going through is all geared to a lot of that kind of thing too. Not just the $1,400 checks for some people, but money for businesses to really, energize. And if you time it right, you can take advantage of this and really get your business humming along, dramatically improve and growing thanks to a lot of this money that's out there. So there's a lot of programs that have been around for years and decades, and lots of new funding coming on board as well. It can be money for any kind of business, real estate. You could have a coffee shop, a donut shop, a hair salon, an online business, an internet e-commerce business, research, international, domestic. You might need money for equipment, hiring employees, training. You might just have a simple, small little home business, whatever it is. There's all kinds of money for all kinds of things that are out there. Now, here's some examples of that. Here's Jason, $25,000. It was a local business grant he got from the local business development authority. Every area has one of these. And a simple application form showing that he's got a real business in the works, and he got that check sent to him pretty quickly. Here is Brian. Now, Brian applied to the targeted wage subsidy program, and he had his employees' wages paid for, 60% of the wages covered through the wage subsidy for 78 weeks. That's a year and a half. It took him about a month to get approved and get paid for this, which is pretty exciting. And so with all that being said, hey, waiting a month to get more than half your employees' wages covered for a year and a half, is that worth the effort to send in the application form? If you've got some employees, I think you'd agree that's definitely worth that expense. Now, here's Pat. She's running a simple home-based Amazon/eBay business, and she got $10,000 approved in less than 24 hours and got the money in less than a week. And so, approved in 24 hours and the money within a week. That's pretty good, just to buy stuff to go sell on Amazon and eBay. So that's pretty exciting. Here's Karen. She applied to not one or two or three, but actually 6 different grants she applied to, and all 6 got approved. This took her about a month to get these 6 grants approved. I actually interviewed Karen for the grant locator. Excuse me there. And Karen shared with us the different grants that she applied to, how they worked, the process she went through to apply. And that interview resulted in hundreds of my other clients getting approved for the same grants because she simply told them exactly what to do. So, these grant locator interviews are a real gold mine for you too. You'll get access to all of them, which is pretty fun. Every year, over 1 million people across America get money for their business. That's just for business funding. Add to that the real estate and the education and training. It's over 20 million people a year are getting this. Now, if you're not doing it, you got to ask yourself, why not? What's holding you back? Now, obviously, it's lack of knowledge. Didn't know about it. Chris, no one told me these programs exist. The government doesn't advertise these unless someone happens to tell you about them. But for decades, millions and millions of people have been getting it. Where does the money come from? You and me. Our tax dollars pay in. And so if you're not taking advantage of these programs, other people are using your tax dollars to pay for their home renovation or their business startup or their kids' college education. It's about time that you took advantage of this money yourself and got some of the hard-earned money that you've been paying in all these years back. And so let me tell you what I've done here for you. And this is basically the thing that you need in your life. If you're an investor, an entrepreneur, kids going to college, what you need is this information that I've spent so far about $750,000 of my own money compiling and putting together for you this incredible resource to get grants quickly. The first one is my free money for Real Estate Course Program Manual. It's a thick manual. It's full of hundreds of programs for real estate investors wannabes, homeowners wannabes. I go through all federal, all state programs and walk you through exactly how you get money to pay for real estate, pay for down payments, closing costs, rehabs, fix up repairs. The Dollar Home Program, the First Time Homebuyer Program, what's called the Good Neighbor Program, which are police officers, teachers, firefighters, ambulance drivers. Half price houses through HUD are available for you. Special needs, multifamily, single family. I mean, all the way down here. The audio CD that I put together that included with this manual. When you listen to the CD, I walk you through exactly how to do it and explain the programs to you. If you want to have anything to do with real estate, this 1-2 combination of the manual and CD will teach you and show you how. Now, for anybody who wants to get scholarships and education costs covered, even if it's paying off student loan debts, my Free Money for Education Course Program Manual, I walk you through all federal, all state, plus the private sector and the foundations. There's also an audio CD here, chock full of literally thousands of programs and sources of funding for you as well. My Business Program Manual, I walk you through all federal and state and local programs for your business. I teach you how to find and zero in quickly on the money to get it for business startup, business expansion, hiring, equipment, training, all the way down here. Audio CD, we talk about business plans, the importance of them, and how that's going to help you get grant monies, plus many different programs I detail on the CD as well. Now, to tie all this together, to show you exactly what to do step by step, is my step by simple step, what to do first, what to do second, what to do third, how to ask the right questions, how to fill in the forms properly, things to make sure you include, and things, I guess, all the important stuff you'd want to know. Very simply laid out. It's got pictures and diagrams. It's got little questionnaires. I ask you. The audio CD, I walk you through the application process in detail to make sure that you make zero mistakes. This how to apply guide is basically the instruction manual for the other 3. And so what you want to get is all 4 of these. You get all 4 programs, the real estate, the education, the business, and how to apply. I sell it as a complete set. It's called my grant funding system. Now, each of these retail for $1,000, including the CD. And so all 4 added together, you got it, is $4,000. But earlier, I kind of gave you a little clue. There's a way that you can get this for free. Remember that? We're going to talk about that in a second here. But first, let's ask the question, Chris, does it work? Well, the answer is, let's look at some clients who've had some good success. Here's Tom. Tom says, "Dear Chris, thanks to your program, I was able to get $100,000 in less than 7 days. 100,000 doesn't come easily, but with the sound direction your program provided, it wasn't that difficult. Thank you, Chris." 7 days to 100,000 for Tom. Here's Abby. It took her more than 7 days. Abby took about 3 months. But let me ask you, if it took you 3 months to get $245,000 to purchase a building, would that be okay with you? To wait the 3 months? I think you'd agree that the answer is yes. Abby, very happy indeed. This is just fun to be able to help out people get access to this money that they need to move ahead in their real estate and other areas. I've been getting success stories like this emailed to me every few days. A lot of these are clients of Don and Kendall's, some for almost a couple $100,000, some for a few $1,000s, 10, 20,000, 30,000 here, 40,000 there, some for education, some for real estate, some for buying farms or going to college or whatever it might be. It's just fun to be able to do this here. And if you're looking at these photos, these are all clients of mine who've literally done exactly what I said. They got the course, they got the materials, they invested in it, and they're showing you examples of the very first grant they got within a few weeks or a few days of getting my program. Now, if I had time and I had like another hour, I could at this speed show you basically a couple of thousand more clients who've received grants as well. But in the interest of time here, I'm actually speeding up the slideshow here. You get the idea. These are all clients of mine who've received funding, but not all of my clients have received funding is my point here. I could show you all of them, but it'll take us another hour. So let's just keep on going here. You get the idea here. This works. 20 million people are doing it. Not all my clients. My clients make up a chunk of those 20 million, but just know that my clients are highly successful because of the extra help and support and information I give them. But in total, over 1 million people get money for business, 4 million for real estate, 6 million for college, university, 10 million people for additional training and support, etc. This money is real, and it's because of my course. And it's my real estate education business how to apply manual. Now you know my system cost in retail is $4,000. There's a way you can get it for free. Let me tell you how you can do that right now. Plus, I'm going to also throw in these incredible bonuses here as well. So let me talk about the bonuses here. These bonuses, number one, is the grant locator. I mentioned it a minute ago. The grant locator is the ongoing continuing education. Every month I send you a new CD or online streaming. You get either one there. You get both, but you can listen to it either online or CD, whatever you prefer. About 6 or 7 topics every month on real estate, on education, on business. I do the interviews, a bunch of different things here. You're going to love it. Plus a newsletter as well. Now, normally I retail $79 a month for this, plus tax and shipping. When you get my course here tonight, and we're going to give you the link here in a second, I'm going to give you the first 2 months at no cost. It's free. All I want you to do, in other words, I'll pay the $79. I'll pay the taxes. I just want you to cover one thing, that small little shipping and handling fee. And that shipping and handling fee, by the way, is just $6. And so cover the 6. I'll give you the whole thing for free for 2 months. But you know what? I'm going to make it better. I'll give you a third one that will come right away with your course in the same box, which means no shipping. So you get the 4 manuals, the 4 CDs, plus your first grant locator. I will not charge you shipping in this first one, only in the second and third month. So in fact, you'll get 3 of these for free. And then at that point, if you want to cancel, you can. If you want to keep on going, you can. But I'm not going to charge you $79, after the 3 free ones. If you do like the 3 free ones, you want to keep it going, it's just a flat, all-inclusive $39 a month, which includes the tax and the shipping. It's just a flat $39 a month. So basically $0 today, $6 the next 2 months, and then from 4th month onward, $39 thereafter, which you can keep it, you can cancel it, you can leave it. People are mixed. Some like it, some don't want it, but that's okay. It's an awesome program. It's continuing education. Try the 3 free ones, sample them out, see how you like them. But I'll tell you this though, if you do keep it going after the first 3 free ones, I'm going to give you access to the entire grant locator library, which is basically 10 years worth of grant locators. That's 1 a month times 10 years. That's 120 episodes. It's 120 issues of interviews, of real estate advice, of business advice, and all of it is relevant today. There isn't anything in that 10 years library. It's all accessible in your own online streaming library, which will give you the login information. When you log on, you can access interviews from 6 months ago, last year. You can listen to Karen. You can listen to Sue, who got the $100,000 of student loans refunded. You can search by category and catalog, etc. It is really awesome. You're going to love it. That's basically over $6,000 or $7,000 worth of back issues you're going to get as a free bonus gift from me right there. So that's actually 2 bonuses there: the free grant locators plus the library, plus the second big bonus, or I guess now the third bonus, is my individual one-on-one consulting. Now this, already costs $10,000, but if you take action here soon, the first 20 people who do, I'm going to give you this for free as a free bonus, basically giving you unlimited ongoing support for an entire full year. I'll help research the programs for you. I'll help you find the right programs that are right for you. I'll review your business plan. I'll help you with your application forms, every step of the way. I'll help you overcome any challenges or obstacles on your way to getting grants. That $10,000, like I mentioned, we're going to waive it if you're one of the first 20 people. So you got to take action. And the reason I have to limit this, by the way, just in case you're curious why only 20, is because I work with you personally, and I'm one guy, and I got to, kind of give really good focus and attention to less people. And so I can handle 20 new clients right now. And when I work with you, I will give you really good support, help, and advice. I do have research staff that I'll rely on to help me with the research, but ultimately, I do have to limit this so I can give you top level, top notch support and servicing. So if we're one of the first 20 people to take action, I will give you this as an included bonus as well. So how you get it for free is simply this. I'm not going to charge you $4,000 like I normally would to get the course. I'm going to waive that $4,000. I'm going to ask you to pay something though. I've got overhead cost. I've got lights, I've got staff, I've got, office space, I got expenses, you get the idea. My cost to service one client for 1 year, my break-even point per client, roughly speaking, is about $2,497. I want you to cover that cost. I need you to cover that cost. Cover the cost of me servicing you, okay? Do that tonight. And then when you do that, we'll work together, like I said, the consulting, et cetera, everything else. You'll get the course in the mail, all that stuff will be sent to you. We'll help you get the grant. What I want from you is your testimonial. I want your success story. I want you to show me when you get your very first grant, take a smiling picture, show me the check you got, whatever it is, show that to me. If you let me use that for my marketing and my advertising, I will basically pay you that money back, that $2,497, in essence, giving you the full refund on the entire thing you pay today. That way, you've got my entire system for free. So in exchange for your success story, you get my course for free. You pay this refundable deposit up front. Now you've got some motivation. You've got something that's going to kind of help you get motivated. So you're not going to go home and put this on your shelf or ignore this for a year. You're going to get started right away because you've got that refund that you want to get, right? So pay the $2,497 today. And when you get your very first success story, it might be next week, it might be in 2 or 3 weeks, it might be in a month or two. I'm going to give you a full entire year to do it though, a full year, more time than you need. Show me the proof and I'll refund it that entire day. And of course, what you get, of course, on top of this is those 3 grant locators, of which you pay shipping and handling only on months 2 and 3, but the $79 is waived and then it's only $39 a month thereafter. You're going to love that, plus the entire library worth over $6,000 or $7,000. And the consulting for the first 20 people waived as well. So we're talking here about $14,000 in total value, the $4,000 course, the $10,000 consultation, plus the grant locators, et cetera, over $14,000 in total value. What you pay is $2,497, and you get that refunded. But tell you what, Kendall and Don are good negotiators. They were telling me about some of the great deals that were offered over the last 3 days. They also told me that many people watching right now took advantage of several of those offers. And so maybe you're a little bit over budgeted for some people, for lack of a better term here. So they've asked me if I can come down on my price and make a better deal. I've agreed. And so here's what I'm going to do for you. If you take advantage of this tonight, so when I'm done here in a second, I'll give you the order link here in a second. I'm going to give you a grant right now. This grant is from me to you. And this grant is a pretty significant one. It's not going to cover the entire deposit, but it's going to cover a lot of it, okay? It's going to cover $1,000 of your deposit. So it's $1,000 you don't have to worry about right now. I'm going to pay the first $1,000 for you. That means it brings your $2,497 deposit down by $1,000 to only $1,497. Just $1,497. That's it. Guaranteed, refundable, only $1,497 that you're going to have to pay tonight, and you get it back guaranteed. So how you get it is simply this. Send me your testimonial of you getting a grant with your smiling photo. Show me the proof of your grant. You get a full year to do it. So it's not a week or two or a month or two, it's a full year. Show me the proof of that grant, okay? And then I will give you a full refund of that $1,497 that you paid tonight. You're not paying $2,497, you're not paying $4,000. All you pay here tonight is $1,497. That's it. And when we do that, you get a full year to get the entire refund in exchange for your testimonial. Show me the proof of that grant. Plus, I've also got a double guarantee, which is in case you change your mind. Let's say that you after you got the course in your hands, you took a look, you decided it's not right for you. You think it's not going to work for you or whatever it is. Call us up. Call Kendall. Email my office. Whatever. We'll give you 100% refund. We call it the change your mind guarantee, right? So we get a full 7 days on that one. So change your mind within a week, you get that back. By the way, the testimonial refund is COVID excluded because let's face it, almost everyone in the country now is automatically getting COVID funding. That's just temporary. It's not normal. We're going to apply the testimonial refund to normal programs that exist. So it's not COVID related guarantee. It's basically everything else that's out there that I normally deal with and work with. So normal business funding, normal education grants, etc., and scholarships. That's what we're going to get for you. Get that proof of that to me, and of course you get a full refund. So here's how you get the program. Go to protectwealth.com/grants. Protectwealth.com/grants. It's going to load up this order page in your window. When you get there, it's going to explain everything. It's going to detail everything. It's going to explain how much you're paying there. I've already knocked off the $1,000 on there for you. It's going to explain my refund guarantees, all the bonuses. It's all on there. Just review the terms and conditions. Click on add to cart. It's going to load up the page where you enter your name and address and phone number, and of course your method of payment and checkout. It's going to charge at $14.87. You'll get an instant confirmation of that, and of course your order's on the way. Tomorrow, my staff and I are going to send you an email with your tracking number. You'll get that within the next 24 to 48 hours. The tracking number, so you can actually see the course being shipped to you. It's going to be sent by FedEx at my expense. So the $14.97 is it. That includes tax, by the way. It includes shipping. It's just all inclusive $14.97. That's it. That's all you pay, and you get that entire amount back guaranteed. So just to recap, you get all 4 manuals I talked about: the real estate, the education, the business, how to apply. You get all 4 CDs. You get 3 months of the Grant Locator plus 10 years worth of Grant Locators, 120 episodes, all yours for free. It's over $6,000 or $7,000 of Grant Locator library. You don't pay for it; it's yours. You get that. You get unlimited consultation if you order quickly. You're within the first 20 people here to order right now. You get that waived as well. So all you pay is $14.97. If you're wondering if you are one of the first 20 people, when you go to protectwealth.com/grants, when you go there, if it's showing $14.97 on the website, that means you're in the first 20. Okay, so it's not going to secretly charge you $10,000 next week. That won't happen. If it says $14.97, that's all you'll be charged. If it's showing that, you're still within the first 20 people. So make sure that you go there now. Don't sleep on this for a week or two. Go there now. It's a limited offer on the 20 people for the consultation, but of course, I'll cover that $1,000 additional discount down to $14.97 if you do this tonight, right now. And now, by the way, if you're somebody who is, maybe you are needing a paycheck to come in and it's not going to come in for 2 or 3 more days, or let's say you're somebody who's got maybe $1,000 available on this credit card and $500 available on this credit card, but not the full $14.97 on one card. What you want to do is please email Kendall, okay? Email Kendall, and someone from his office will call you tomorrow. What they can do is they can transact part on one card and part on the other card over the phone, okay? So they can do that, but you got to email them. They'll secure those 20 spots for you as well. Don't worry, you're not going to miss out on that one. You will get the $14.97 deal as well, so it'll just be split over 2 cards, but our website right now is not set up to take multiple cards. It could take one payment only. So if you got the card ready to go to the website now, lock your first 20 spots in, protectwealth.com/grants. Again, it's over $14,000 in total value when you include the $4,000 normal price on the materials, plus the consultation, which is over $10,000, and the Grant Locators. In fact, if you add in the library, it's probably over $20,000 in total value, including the Grant Locator library. So it's actually over $20,000 total value that you're getting for a guaranteed refundable $14.97. Now you've got the motivation that you need and want to get started. Now, some people are going to ask me in the Q&A time, Chris, how about this? Thinking cleverly, how about I just pay you nothing? And then when I get the grant later, I'll show you my proof at that time. I hear you, but understand, I got to keep my lights on. I got to keep my staff paid. I got to keep the business humming along. So I do need that upfront deposit. And then when I get your success story later, whether it's next week or next month or in 6 months, I can use your success story refund as a write-off in my advertising and my marketing. That way it works for me, and I can expense it that way properly. See what I'm talking about? So I do need that 1497 up front for you. We can't just kind of waive that for now. So you do need to pay that. And what you've now got also is you've got that small investment in yourself. That's a motivation that I need you to have to get started, because sometimes the people, just have the information for free. They're not really that invested. They're not really going to try that hard. They don't really get the success out of it. So now you've got the investment that you need to have to motivate you to get started. That way it's going to skyrocket or greatly increase your chance of actually getting that grant, that much faster. And when you do, you'll get the refund from me because you're going to show me the proof of that. So go to protectwealth.com/grants now. If you haven't yet, put in your information in a secure, safe online ordering system. You'll get an instant notification that your payment's been approved. You get an email from me as well, welcoming you as well pretty quickly. And then tomorrow you will get, or the next, probably the next 4 to 8 hours, tomorrow or the next day, you'll get an email from my assistant with your FedEx tracking number. Again, I'm paying the shipping. The shipping is on me. It'll take a couple of days, 2 or 3 days to get there. And once you get it, it's got all the information in the course. It's going to have, I'll email you how we're going to work in consultation back and forth. You're going to have your guarantee there. You're going to have all that stuff laid out for you in your course when you get it. But again, Dawn and Kendall love to have me speak to their clients because they see the success stories. They see how much money we're getting their clients. And they want you to have this as well. So with that being said, Kendall, I will go out of my, or actually tell you what, I'll leave this up here so people have the website and they see the offer.
Sure.
Let's do Q&A and help people out with any questions they've got.
Chris, what an incredible offer. You always are so generous. We appreciate that so much. Honestly, Chris. Thank you. Seriously. We talked to a lot of students this week who definitely, this is something that will work for them for sure in their businesses. There's no doubt about it. A lot of them are just getting started in their business. It really is perfect even for real estate investors, a lot of them. Kind of fun for me when I watch this, because I see you always update, like in the past, I've seen pictures of your students and stuff. I love how you do that because I can get their money back. But my favorite part is when you go through this, how many I recognize. It's kind of fun because we've met a lot of them. We know a lot of them. A lot of our students have actually done this. Thanks so much, Chris, because for me, always validates how awesome you are at helping people actually get money, grants, loans, scholarships. It makes it so much fun. We got a call from one of our students who had they were going to college and got money for college. It's so much fun because they're so excited, like jumping up and down. So thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. What a great offer.
Well, you're so glad. You're so welcome, I should say. I'm glad that you're appreciating it, and you're quite welcome. And any questions that people have, please just post them in the Q&A chat box. We'll get them answered. Okay. And like I did mention, if you are tapped out, because let's face it, there's some phenomenal offers. All of them are good. And by the way, in case you're curious, I'm also a client of practically every speaker and offer you saw the last 3 days. I've done all of them. And so from Robert to Patrick to Scott to Stacy, the stocks, just you name it. I use those systems myself. I'm a student of theirs. All great deals. But if you've overextended yourself, you're maybe over your budget for this week, and it takes a couple days to get the paycheck in, or you need some delay time, please email Kendall or call them tomorrow. We'll work with you. I don't want you to miss out on this offer. This is a great offer, but again, you want to do that quickly. Lock your spot in, and if you can, and do it right now, just go to protectwealth.com/grants. That way, you're done. You don't have to worry about it. You are secured. You're in the first 20 people, and we'll make sure you get it. And of course, we'll set you up as well.
Well, this is a great program, Chris.
Someone was asking about PayPal. We don't really do PayPal normally, but I think Kendall, do you guys offer PayPal, or how does that work with you guys?
I could probably send them a PayPal link. Yeah, I probably could. Yeah.
All right. So if you're someone who doesn't have a credit card or funds on a credit card, credit card works best, obviously. I think there's probably a way that we could maybe do that too, but there's no link on there on the site for PayPal.
Yeah.
But if you just email Kendall, we'll find a way.
Yeah, I'll find a way. We actually do have a PayPal account where we could actually email you a link, and I'm sure that worked that out. So no problem. Thank you. Yeah. So does the money you're applying for have to be items purchased after you receive the grant?
Sorry, say it again. Does the item?
Yeah. Does the money you are applying for have to be for items purchased after you receive the grant?
It's not so much for items. It's basically it's for, you're launching your business and you've got some business expenses coming up. Typically, it is in advance of that. If you've already got a business up and running, there's no such thing as retroactive grants to pay you back money that you used to start your business 5 or 10 years ago. It's all to incentivize you to now grow your business even more, or hire more staff, or start a business you haven't got started yet, or do those rehabs and repairs. So retroactive grants really only exist with a loan reduction in student loans, that kind of thing there. There's a few other examples too, but
Wow.
it's not to pay you back for stuff you've already bought or purchased.
I'm surprised that even exists there. That's kind of nice. All right, cool. Okay, Mo says, I'm excited that can I use this offer for real estate, education, and business?
All the above. And you can get. I've had many clients get a real estate grant and an educational scholarship within a week after buying my course. Some as fast as 24 hours. That's not normal. What's normal is about a month or so. But you can also, in fact, one of my clients just 2 days ago, she got my course, and her friend couldn't afford college. Her friend had put off going to school for 5 years, and she still, after 5 years, hadn't saved up for it. So she helped her friend get her college paid for completely for free using the course that she bought. I mean, what a good friend, right? So, I mean, it's just kind of fun to have that kind of experience as well. So you can help other people too using my program. And that actually will qualify you for the refund too. So in fact, I gave her the refund because she helped her friend get her friend's college paid for.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. Very cool. All right. For business plans, you guys, I guess it's not really a business plan, but will you guys review and help them draft these kind of things?
Pretty much, since we don't know exactly what goes into your business, we can't really, make stuff up for you. But if you show us what you got, we can help you, put it together, organize it, fine tune it, reword it. Lots of improvement there. Plus, there's also some really good business planning software out there from bplans.com and other sources, and score.org that will point you to resources like that as well. But definitely will help you a lot with your business plans. But writing it from scratch, since we don't know all the ins and outs of your business, it's kind of impossible for us to do that. But we'll definitely work with you and help you with that. Yes.
Cool. Okay. Well, a few questions about real estate type of grants. Maybe elaborate on what kinds of real estate grants you've seen.
A lot of it is energy upgrades, like I mentioned. A lot of it is repairs and upgrades. So we actually have new roofs and flooring and a lot of new painting through some federal programs from HUD. They're on older properties. There is historical preservation. So an older property designated as being historical can qualify for a lot of grants just to restore it to its original, like new condition, maintaining its original character and heritage. There's bringing old electrical and plumbing up to code. That's a big one people don't think about, because code is always being, city code is always being improved and changing, or even new insulation code. I had one lady get $36,000 worth of new insulation installed in her house through blow insulation. They drilled holes, they injected the expandable foam in the walls, and that plus the patching of the holes afterward and the repainting of her walls cost over $36,000, all paid for free through some grants that we got for her. I mean, there's just all kinds of examples I can give you there in the real estate. Plus, again, the property acquisition, like with the Jerome and LaShawn, that example I showed you here earlier, they got, and rural housing grants, other ones like that too. I mean, just all kinds of programs. Now, it's not just there to buy houses willy-nilly for you, but in some cases you can buy properties. In some cases you can get down payment assistance if you haven't owned real estate in your own name for the last 3 years. So it kind of goes on and on, as you can see there in different examples.
It's kind of wild to me because you don't know what you don't know. And that's always the thing about education. Education is the most important investment you can make. And I think a lot of people tonight are learning for the first time that, hey, there's a grant out there for real estate investing for a business. Are you kidding me? And the thing is, like you said, what was there, over 7,000 different options out there for grants or scholarships or loans? That blows my mind. That means very likely, like you said, there's got to be something you can fit in. You just got to put in a little time to find it, and your team's there to help them. So super, super awesome.
I got my start in real estate initially, and then of course I've also got businesses to run my real estate and other businesses, and so I expand my knowledge to business funding, just my own needs as well. I don't have any kids of my own going to college, and it was just my clients asking me to help them. Hey, while you're at it, can you also help pay for my kids' scholarships? And so that's kind of how I became an expert in that area too. So, these 3 courses are a lot of personal experience and need, but then just researching and researching. I've got some really gifted research folks that work for me full time, exclusively for me. They're so good at researching. We uncover these hidden gems of programs that people really can't find online, doing typical Google or internet searches. We actually talk to government agencies all the time by phone, and we uncover certain programs that aren't even online anywhere. And so we'll find many programs that you can't find on your own. And it's just a fun process to be able to do this, like we have it for now, 16 or 17 years now. We've been doing this full time, which is exciting.
Yeah, and this shouldn't seem too far-fetched to anybody, especially after you've seen all the stimulus money going out there and you see the billions and billions and billions of dollars going overseas to other countries. Of course, they're going to have something available for you. It's kind of cool. So
I saw a great question here from ECAT. How often do we update the courses and the manuals? Several times a year. It's updated constantly. Now, here's the good news. Most of it never changes. Like I'll have 10-year-old manuals that 70 to 80% is still up to date and valid today. But with that being said, we update it constantly. And so with my consultation service that you get, there are programs you're not going to find in the manuals that I'll find you through consultation and research. So the manuals aren't everything. There are a lot of it, but they're really part of the big picture, which my consultation, when I really get to know you and what you're looking for, I'm going to find you programs real quick and easy and fast that you might not find quickly and easily on your own or in the manuals, etc. So the manuals are great. They are updated. They rarely go out of date, but you'll find that it's really good from that standpoint as well. Erica asked about solar upgrades. Yes, there's a lot of funding for solar as well. And SBA EIDL. Yes, we just got one of those. Henry asked about the SBA program on EIDL. We just got that one as well for somebody just last week. We got a success story there for somebody. I think it was about 35,000 for that particular program just last week. There is no limit on how much help I'll give you. That goes for anonymous there. So I'll help you as much as you need for a full year. And tell you what, here's a little incentive for you. If you get the grant locator and you try me out, for the 3 free months, and if you like what you like what you get, and beyond the 3 months, you're now into the third of the month phase, which is from month 4 onward. As you know, I'll give you the full historical library of every episode I've ever done and every newsletter I've ever done. You'll get as a free gift worth $6,000 or $7,000 as well. But if you keep on subscribing beyond the first year, and your consultation technically runs out, I'm not going to stop consulting with you. I'll keep the consultation going unlimited, as much as you need, for years and years and years if you are still subscribing. I've had clients subscribing to the grant locator for many years, and I don't stop answering their questions, put it that way.
Generous, Chris. Thank you. That's amazing.
And Rudy, yes, for veterans owned businesses, yes, for business and real estate and education, all the above. So lots of programs for veterans and non-veterans alike. Awesome. All right. Well, anonymous, put your investments as tax write-offs. So you'll get a lot of this money back through tax savings from my program and many of the other offers that were offered to you this weekend. A lot of these expenses, you guys, if you don't already know, are tax deductible for you. So take full advantage of that. And, all of our programs and advice works synergistically. I mean, Pat James and Robert Sheeman are clients of mine through grants. I'm also clients of theirs. I've got Pat's tax program. I've got Robert's real estate programs and advice as well. I mean, everything you see offered, we all work together and are clients of each other's, which is kind of cool too. So, welcome to the family. We look forward to supporting you and everything as well. Awesome.
Looks like we have a lot of interest. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it very much. That's amazing. I'll go ahead and get in touch with Chris. We got a few emails coming in, so I'll be in touch with you. But it looks like protectwealth.com/grants. First 20, we'll kind of let you know. Like you said, if you click on that link, it's not there. That'll tell you, but I'll keep you posted too. Very, very great offers. Very generous, Chris. Thank you so much. Really is kind of fun to see you. We miss seeing you in person.
For sure. Just happy to. And I see, I just realized for the first time that Don's listening in us here. Hey, Don, how are you? Thanks for having me on here. And appreciate you guys. I mean, thanks for having me on, Kendall. Take advantage of protectwealth.com/grants. Go there now, lock it in. If you can't, put onto one card tonight, email Kendall. They'll work it out with you. If you haven't got a card, but you got PayPal, email Kendall. They'll work it out. We'll find a way to make it happen. But I look forward to getting to know you, working with you. I most importantly look forward to helping you get a grant, whether it's 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 or even $100,000 or $200,000. But just know that most of my clients get approved in their very first application. The average grant is over $19,000 in the very first application submitted by my clients. And most of my clients get multiples, which means more than one. So, hey, free money, right? Guaranteed refund, 7 days to change your mind if you change your mind on this. So, nothing to lose here. Go ahead, get your order secured. You're one of the first 20. I think there's a few more spots still available in the first 20, Kendall. But go ahead there, and I look forward to supporting you. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Great offer, Chris. Thank you so much. Even more generous than you always are. I appreciate it very much. If you need anything else, everyone, please give us a call. Reach out. Happy to help you guys. We'll be open the office tomorrow. I'll be checking my emails tonight. Everybody, thanks. Chris, again, thanks for being on. Tell Nikki hello for us. We miss you guys. Really good to see you. Thanks for your time tonight, guys. Really appreciate it.
Have an awesome night, you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.